This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan. With your host, Bradley Summers. And get the latest from Alpena Community College with ACC President Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Bradley Summers, and today our first guest is Leanne Bloom with the Second Chance Animal Shelter. Hey, Leanne.
Hey, good morning. Nice to be back.
Well, good morning to you, and glad you're back.
Thank you.
So I know you've had a lot of events that have been coming that have been, well, some have already passed and some are upcoming.
Yep.
But let's talk a little bit about the upcoming raffle that you have, the Raffle for Rescues.
Yes, we're doing a raffle for rescues this year. It's almost ready to draw. November 2nd is the draw date. So still time for people to get tickets. And first prize is Browning Creedmoor. So we're auctioning off a gun just in time for hunting season.
Yeah.
And a Leopold scope.
Nice.
So second prize, of course, is a Coleman cooler full of adult beverages.
Nice.
And again, all the funds we raise go to help us at the shelter. So a good cause and a great prize.
You know, and it's awesome too. The more I've seen your leadership and the organization, there's been a lot of great discussion around the services that you're providing the community and, the exposure that you're getting and bringing in those networks to your organization. Because we were talking just, offset before we came onto tape that, you've seen, very successful fundraisers that are really, really, really helping, obviously,
yes,
with the resources that you're providing for the community and for the animals.
Yeah. We just had our big annual dinner auction fundraiser. It's fabulous. We get such great donation items from the community. People have a good time, and we raise some amazing funds. This year was one of our best years. We're just kind of doing all the final tabulating, and I'll have that number out soon. But it's just amazing. We sold out, and it's just it's great to get everyone together. And I think you'd agree when you have these events, raising funds is nice. But the nicer thing is getting everyone together, have a good time, and support a good cause.
Well, and as nonprofits, and leaders within the organizations, it's amazing to have that exposure.
Yeah.
And the more people that you can be in front of to discuss what your resources are, what you're doing, your mission, your strategies, and then people can see firsthand, where it goes and how it impacts the community,
yep,
is such a amazing thing. And the more times that we have these fundraisers and those opportunities, obviously the more that we can talk to the individuals.
Yeah.
And I know you're introverted.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty shy.
You're pretty
shy. Drag it out of me. Hey, you can't be in this industry, right?
Right.
Shy people become very extroverted suddenly. You're forced to, but
But it's that passion.
Yes.
And I know you exude that passion as well.
Well, we've got an amazing group. And it's a good cause. The community definitely needed another shelter, and our group wanted to provide that. So we're really excited where we are and where we're going.
Absolutely. And you have an adoption event coming up.
We do. We have kittens. So on November 4th, which is a Saturday, we will have a kitten adoption event at the shelter building from 11 till 4. So people can come in, of course, and shop at the resale store, and they can also cuddle kittens and hopefully take one or two home. So we're happy to be able to do that, and there's definitely a need. As everyone has heard in town, we're all full. All the shelters are full, and we keep getting calls. So the best way we can help more is to have good adoptions and people come take some home.
And I know there's people that are watching the show today that are saying, wow, my kids won't stop asking about an adoption of a cat, or a furry friend that has been promised many years ago, and parents say, well, maybe next time. But this is a great opportunity to, right before the holidays, do something really special for the kids, and obviously helping out the animals of the community. But it's a pretty neat event to be able to do that. What can you expect out of the adoption event?
What we'll have different kittens at the shelter. So right now the kittens are still with fosters. We're still waiting on the state to get some approvals done and to go through their process to get our shelter licensed to house animals. So the animals we have are with fosters, which it's a huge benefit because the fosters have homes that have kids, cats, dogs, and chaos. So when a kitten comes from that environment, when it goes to someone's home, it fits right in because it's all used to that. So they're brought in for the event that day, so people can come meet them. You know, we post them on Facebook, and we're going to have them on our website. But personality counts. Personality. Personality. You caught that.
Yeah, I did. And the kids chaos and cats sounds like a fundraiser that we could do in the.
There you go.
To partner in the future.
Yeah.
All of us have a big fundraiser.
Yeah, that's right. I think all the kids at your place, they could use cats.
Yeah. Well, I hear a lot, and my own too. You know, we lost our cats a couple of years, last year, and I hear it all the time.
Yeah.
You know, is it time? Is it time?
Pets do better with people, and people do better with pets. I mean, there's all kinds of studies on it that we can quote and stuff like that. But you know, animals in a household with kids, it's a great combination. You know, it gives them responsibility. It's their best friend. You know, we hear stories of parents who bring the kitten home and they say, you know, their kids can talk to it, they can share their problems, and of course the kitten never goes and tells.
Yeah, right? Yeah, they're pretty quiet about those things.
Yes, they know they get some snacks on the side, so they just, you know, they stay quiet. So.
And another really cool opportunity for support was your photo contest.
Yes, we're really excited. We had it on our books for a while to do a pet photo calendar contest, and so this year we finally just jumped in and did it, and it was amazing. We had over 150 entries.
Wow.
And the voting was fast and furious, right down to the wire for the cover dog, which was Riley. He won, and he is a rescue. So it was just fun. And
Perfect.
We've got the pets in the calendars. Allegra is working on the calendars for us right now, so we'll have those for sale. So people can support the cause as well by buying one of the calendars. We'll have them at the store, and we'll have them some different locations in town. But just a fun way to celebrate people's animals. You know, who doesn't like looking at cute pictures of dogs and cats? And I think there was a duck and maybe a chicken in there as well. So
cool.
It was open to everyone.
Awesome. And just before we have, before the end of the segment here, talk a little bit. You are one of the organizations that will be participating in the Giving Tuesday event this year.
Yes, we are joining Community Foundation this year, and we're really excited to be part of that. They've built it up so much, you know, over the last number of years, and we got selected to be in it. And so watch for our ads and watch for us, you know, on their webpage the day of. But again, it's community and it's organizations supporting other organizations. So everyone's a winner that day. I mean, I know there's only one golden goose, but all the organizations.
Everybody's a winner.
Yeah, everyone is. And we are grateful for the Community Foundation for the work and time that they put into making it happen for all of us.
Yeah, such an incredible organization that puts a lot of resources into this, and it's to help all of us.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. Alpena is a great place.
It really
is a great place to call home. I mean, you look at the support you guys get, the support we've gotten. It's an awesome community, and it's a community where a small group of people can make big things happen.
Yep, just continue with that passion and good things happen.
Yeah, it has been.
Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming on the show.
All right, anytime. Always happy to talk about cats and kids.
That's right, and chaos.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, I look forward to the next time we get to talk.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Stay tuned after the break for Don LaBarre with the Alpena County Library. Welcome back, everyone. Our next guest is Don LaBarre from the Alpena County Library. Hi, Don.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for being here.
Of course.
You know, I know special collections is your forte.
Yes.
And I know something really cool that a lot of people in the community may not know about is this memory lab that you have just acquired and have available for people in the community like me and anybody else to come and use. Explain a little bit what the memory lab is.
Yeah, absolutely. So a memory lab is, you'll see it kind of called different things throughout the state and throughout the country. But basically, at the end of the day, the memory lab is a DIY digitization station, right? So this whole setup, all connected to one computer, and it's there to help community members here digitize family collections, whether that's photos or letters or documentation, family videos of Christmas back in 1992 or 1963, wedding videos. You name it, for the most part, we can pretty much help you scan it. And so at the end of the day, the hope is that we're helping our community and helping them have access to resources so that they can learn how to digitize it, so they can spend their time, if they have the time, to basically sit down with the material and preserve their family collections, but also at the end of the day share that family history with more people in their community as well.
So my first question was, does it do VHS tapes?
Yeah.
And you said it actually does Super 8 as well.
Yeah, so we do 8mm Super 8s, we can do micro cassettes, audio cassettes, glass plate negatives, film negatives, black and white negatives, color negatives. Really, it's quite a range. And you can find out if you ever have questions, you can go to alpenalibrary.org and search for us, and we have a list of the materials that you can scan with it. So yeah, we're pretty fortunate to have it. Our department is partially funded by the George R. and Edith Angel Cook Endowment. And that exists to help support the products that our department does, and which is in turn, helping support and promote community history. And so this was kind of one of those ideal situations. We told the donors about it, and they absolutely loved the idea of it.
Wow, and a lot of people, are going through, loved ones that may have passed away, or grandparents, and going through their basement or their attic and finding giant boxes of VHS tapes, or all of these like great memories and documents that take up a ton of space, and I can bring those in to the library and literally have them digitized so that they fit on a flash or a thumb drive. Yeah. The size of a pencil, basically. Yeah,
exactly. And I think that's kind of the exciting part. As someone that works in the archival field, we always go, the physicals are always you want to keep those. But also, yeah, exactly. Digitization is a great way to kind of narrow down your collection and decide between what's really, really important, which is kind of like, well, we'll scan it and we'll be able to kind of get it out of the household or move it around. And share it with the family. Not too long ago, we had a patron that came in that was part of the Midland floods from the dams and such, and they lost all their family records in their basement. And so this story is all too common. Someone dies of the family and the records get thrown out the door. No one really knows what they're looking at. So it's an all too common story. And so we're hoping that having this kind of DIY station helps preserve it and also share it with the community and their other family members as well into a more accessible form.
Yeah. So that's a really great resource.
Yeah.
And where in the library can I find this?
Yeah, absolutely. So the station itself is located within the Maker Lab, which is on, we call it the third floor. It's the floor above, if you're local, you'd call it the Courier Building. It's right next to where our Judith Stillian conference room is in that area. So there are select times. We always recommend you check our event calendar. But that space is opened normally when the Maker Lab is open. So when there's an open Maker Lab session, that area will be accessible as well. And if something happens where maybe you can't make that time, you can reach out to the library and either talk to myself or you can talk to Nancy Musso, who is our technology specialist. And between the two of us would be able to probably figure out some kind of appointment for you as well.
Awesome. So it's not something that I would just come in and I'm going to start throwing all these documents onto this memory lab. It's your team is actually there to help with this process.
Yeah, absolutely. So the end of the goal of this is we want to help educate the community with digital literacy. And so, yeah, we're there for the first couple minutes. We're giving you a walkthrough of how it's done. We're trying to figure out, okay, what kind of materials are you hoping to scan? And we'll kind of give you advice, because you can really do a lot of crazy stuff with this equipment. And some of it's, the way my department uses this equipment is much more nuanced and intense than someone that, say, is just scanning a photo to share it on an email. And so, yeah, there's staff that's set there during our open hours that are there to help explain how those systems work, and we're kind of helping you side by side and eventually kind of setting you on your way to digital literacy and digitizing family collections.
Wow, it's such a great resource, and I know it'll be well utilized the more people that know about this.
Absolutely.
So I know one of the things that you have that we were discussing that you have coming up is Native American History and Heritage Month.
Yes, so November is Native American History Month. And we have a couple different programs that are coming out, so pay attention to our event calendar and our social media as we announce those. We have folks coming up from the Zebulon Center down in the Mount Pleasant area. Our department's working on a kind of I would call a micro exhibit. We're not doing a full-on exhibit, but something that will be on the first floor that will be celebrating one of the Indigenous people's histories in this area. We're also going to be having, I believe at this point, the week of November 13th, I believe we'll be having kind of a Anishinaabe basket weaving craft that you can do as well. Black ash basket weaving is a very has a very strong importance within the Anishinaabe community of the Great Lakes. And so our exhibit, social media posts, and our crafts will be all kind of playing off that theme. And I think one of the biggest things is, a lot of people go like, do we really have that history here? And the answer is absolutely, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, through history, as is to all common of a story, that history kind of gets, it's quiet, people don't talk about it as much, it's not as in front of people's eyes, and so our hope is to help share those stories, kind of reinvigorate them, and hopefully get people kind of back into understanding the Indigenous heritage that we do have here, both in the past and currently.
Well, I mean, look at some of the areas that we have around us. Birdsong Bay, which once had another name that was, more Native American, and then of course we have Ossining and some of these areas. And my great grandmother owned a general store in Mankato, and she would always tell me stories of Native Americans and Indigenous people that would come into the store on a frequent basis, frequently. And so it's a huge part of our culture, and we may always think the lumberjacks and the lumber industry and those things when we think about Alpena, but it does have a very long history of Native American heritage here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of people forget how important it shaped the early years of the state, right? If you look at the northern boundary of the Treaty of Saginaw, to get nerdy, in 1919, or 1916, sorry, the northern border is Thunder Bay River. And then the southern border of that is for the Treaty of Washington, D.C., which is from the Odawa. So it's a very, that point is a very important period, and Alpena's right smack dab between these different cultures coming together, either for seasonal hunting or settlements. And then they were here during the lumbering era, and they're still here, and they've moved around, and maybe their numbers are not as high, but their stories are still here, and it's our duty to kind of share those.
Yeah, that's a great thing that you're doing.
Yeah, appreciate that.
And I can't wait to bring my daughter in and my son in to do some of the arts and crafts too. You guys always do an amazing job.
Yeah, they do a great job
incorporating the kids and the adults and just everybody.
Yeah.
But gosh, it's amazing how fast these segments go. But I'm really excited about the Memory Lab, and of course the Native American Heritage Month coming up in November. But thank you to you and your team for what you're doing in this community to get the word out about education and bringing people together, about what's going on around us and the resources that you're providing.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you all for joining us as we continue to learn about the wonderful nonprofits in our community. Stay tuned after the break for the ACC segment.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College. I'd like to take our time together this morning to talk about a new development this week at ACC involving the AMA, ESD, Northern Michigan University, and Central Michigan University. And I will read a little bit, and then I will provide some context. So this is a Northeast Michigan Teacher Pipeline. It's a partnership to create affordable and seamless pathways. Alpena Community College, in collaboration with Northern Michigan University and Central Michigan University, is proud to announce a new initiative that will open additional pathways for aspiring educators in Northeast Michigan. These strategic partnerships, collectively known as the Northeast Michigan Teacher Pipeline, offer students an affordable, seamless, and locally rooted pathway to achieve their teaching dreams. So this really stems from a pretty acute problem that's throughout Northeast Michigan, really around the state, where there's a shortage of teachers, both at the kindergarten through 6 and 7 through 12. And the premise, and I agree with it, is that if we can encourage local folks, people who are in those school districts, to be interested in becoming teachers, and there are many of them who are, that if we can offer a quicker, more affordable pathway to the credential that's required to become a teacher, this will help alleviate this teacher shortage. This is not a new idea, but it's a good idea, and led by the leaders, through the leadership of Justin Glusing, who's the superintendent of AMA ESD. We've been working on creating this pathway for Northeast Michigan students for about a year and a half, and it's finally led to this moment. So students in Northeast Michigan seeking a career in education can now commence their journey at ACC, enjoying the benefits of local and affordable education for the first 2 years. This 2+ pathway, meaning 2 years at ACC, 2 years at Northern, 2 years at CMU, or at CMU, ensures that students receive a solid foundation in education without the financial burden of relocating to larger universities right from the start. This is a key point because many of our students now are currently K-12 students through dual enrollment, early middle college. So this is a pathway for students to get started at a pretty young age if they're pretty interested or are interested in becoming teachers. After completing the first 2 years at ACC, students can easily transfer to CMU or Northern to fulfill the remaining teacher program requirements. And this streamlined process ensures that students experience a smooth transition while continuing their education. You know, this is a key point. I think it's statewide, the articulation between community colleges and universities is good. There's a Michigan transfer agreement that guarantees classes will transfer from one institution to the next. There intermittently are schools and programs where that's not as smooth. And, you know, so students sometimes will take at the university level things that they've largely taken at the community college level. This is not a good thing, and we try to avoid it. And this program will avoid that. In addition to the 2+ pathways, ACC, CMU, and NMU are committed to exploring further opportunities for collaboration within the teacher education programs. And this includes investigating virtual learning options, rural grant opportunities, and other creative means to support aspiring teachers in the region. The virtual learning, we've talked about this a number of times on this show. Virtual remote learning, WebEx, outreach to K-12s by ACC is a huge part of our business. And I would say that of the 28 community colleges, we're probably the leaders in it. And it allows us to reach a much larger footprint than we could afford to do if we were sending teachers out to these schools, which many of them are quite small. And so the virtual learning options on our end is significant. As part of this new partnership, a new course has been offered or will be offered within ACC's existing Associate Arts in Education program. This is a new course that was developed. History 123, History and Exploration of an Embattled Profession, Introduction to Education. This provides students an opportunity to explore careers in education, including teaching, educational support roles, and administration. And the course emphasizes the evolution of both private and public education in the United States over the past 200 years. So I also would like to commend Tim Kuhnlein at ACC and Amanda Campbell Crawford. They're both instructors of history, very fine instructors. And Dr. Paige Gordier, who's our Vice President of Instruction. They were very integral in the development of this course and the articulation of it into our existing program and to CMU and NMU's program. So kudos to them. Dr. Don McMaster, President of Alpena Community College, expressed his pride in the collaboration. This is true stating. We are thrilled to be part of this partnership, offering affordable education and career opportunities to our local students. The Northeast Michigan Teacher Pipeline will pave the way for a brighter future for our region. I think this is true, and this is a problem that, you know, when I first started almost 9 years ago now, I heard from superintendents throughout the region, not just in Alpena, but as far south as Eau Gray and Tawas and Oscoda, and as far north as Sheboygan. This issue, we can't find teachers. And what can we do to improve that situation? And it's nice to see that come to fruition. Again, I would like to salute Justin Glusing. Really, his leadership was integral. And he says, this collaboration strengthens the entire educational landscape in Northeast Michigan. Our corner of the state is isolated from our university partners, and this partnership will help build our local pool of professional educators to support our region for years to come. This is a true statement, and it deserves praise. Last point I'd like to make: to learn more about the Northeast Michigan Teacher Pipeline, an informal session will be held on Wednesday, November 9th, beginning at 11 a.m. in room 109 at Besser Tech Center at ACC. Faculty members from CMU and NMU will participate to discuss the partnership and the opportunities available to current and future students. So if you're interested, or if a community member, a student, potential teacher, feel free to come to this. It's free of charge and freely sharing of information. So a good week at ACC, and this is a highlight. So thank you folks for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your hosts Bradley Summers and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at WVKB11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production. All rights reserved.